I know, right? The boom mics, all that good stuff. Hey guys, Scott Howell here, the insurance guy online.com. I am joined today, I am honored to be joined today by my friend and great American, Mr. Bradley Flowers, Alfa Insurance. And before we get started, I have a question.
Sure.
Is it Saraland or Saraland?
Saraland.
Saraland. I am in Saraland, Alabama today, and I am so excited to have this guy with me, and let me tell you why. And I know I'm about to put all of you to sleep for just a second, but I promise you we're going to talk about some stuff that's going to wake you up. This guy right here is, when I found him on Instagram and I started noticing some of the stuff that he was posting about insurance and local agent, and that thing that you posted where you had the really cool opening and then you jumped on the skateboard and went down the street. This guy is a leader not just in Alabama but in the United States with social media and digital in terms of insurance and business and entrepreneurship. Been interviewed by the Wall Street Journal last year for an article. And I'm so excited to have you.
Having me.
Yeah. And great agent. He's going to take care of his people here, and I'm just excited to be here with him today. So, first question I always ask people on the Ask the Insurance Guy Online show: what motivates you? What gets you up in the morning?
Losing.
I've actually had that told to me before.
And I have to be careful when I think about it. You know, I've been at home at 10:30 at night before, right, and thought about a time a competitor got the best of me, and the next thing I know I'm driving to the office at 11 p.m. And that's the truth. That's not me trying to be Gary Vee up here. That's the truth. Anytime I need a little kickstart, I just think about sometimes somebody got the best of me, right, and that gets me going again, because I hate losing.
You know, I kind of, when I played sports back in the 1800s, I kind of had that same methodology, and I also have it in business. But you know, every day you're not working, somebody else is. Exactly. And so I've had that answer before on our show. Somebody, a friend of mine that's with ESPN, Cole Kublik, SEC Network, he kind of said the same thing. He said, I can't fail.
It's Mark Cuban that said, you know, you have to work 24/7 like somebody's trying to take it away from you 24/7.
That's right.
You know, so only the paranoid survive.
Absolutely. So he has done a fantastic job of building his business down here. I don't want to speak for Alfa Corporate, but I'm going to say in terms of the digital landscape and understanding and being a practitioner, that's a big word, guys, practitioner. This guy does it every day religiously, or at least tries to every day, whether it's Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook Live. He's doing something digitally as a practitioner. And I think as a corporation, Alfa can probably lean on you more to try to figure out that landscape and what to do and what not to do. Yeah. I think companies sometimes, they have marketing departments and they're doing, you know, the banner ads and some of that other digital stuff that you and I...
boxes.
Yeah, exactly. The thing that seems to work though, as an entrepreneur and a business owner, is actually getting on here and doing some Facebook Live, and we talked about that earlier.
Just do it.
Yeah. And I'm going to say this, guys, and I want to speak to a couple of friends of mine out there. You know, I've kind of rededicated myself to getting on here and doing this. You know, we all have the excuse that we don't have the time and we've got this going on and that going on. But when I see people get on Facebook Live and they look like somebody is holding them hostage and about to make them jump off of a 100-foot bridge, it actually
they look like a detainee.
Yeah. Listen, I don't care about the content. It's the bravery. It's the bravery that I see from these people doing that. And if you probably know who you are. You know, I try to send them messages of encouragement, be like, hey, keep going, keep going, don't stop. You know, you jumped off the 100-foot bridge once, let's do it again and again and again. And the 100th time, you'll forget that you're on a bridge anymore. So those people actually motivate me to get back on here and do, with all these cameras that we do have set up in here, to do what we're doing right now. And I would encourage anybody, You know, use Facebook Live, use stories on Instagram, use Snapchat, figure out ways that you can use this to help your business and not have to spend $5, $10, $15, $20, $30,000 a month or more to advertise and market and brand your business. So that's my take on that. But tell us a little bit about the Wall Street Journal article. I love that story. I'd love for you to kind of.
So this is officially the first time this has been told on record, I believe.
Okay, I like that.
I was in an appointment with a client about October, November of last year.
Right.
And a very important appointment, big appointment. And my CSR IM'd me on my computer and said, hey, the Wall Street Journal's on the phone.
Right.
And I had a subscription with them in the past and canceled it, and they had always called me every couple months like, hey, trying to sell me more newspapers. And I said, just tell them I'm not interested. And she said, no, they want to talk to you about Snapchat. It's a reporter with the Wall Street Journal. And I told the client, I said, hold on 1 minute.
I'll be right
Wall
back.
Street Journal call. If my mom or the Wall Street Journal calls, it's important.
Yeah, and usually neither one of those is going to happen.
Yeah,
but
right. So it was reported with Wall Street Journal, and she wanted to talk to insurance agents. They're doing an expose on insurance agents who use Snapchat for marketing.
Right.
And so I asked her. I said, well, you know, how many other people do you have? And I'm going to cut the story short that I told you and cut to the good part. And she said, as far as we're concerned, you're the #1 insurance agent on Snapchat, which was
because you're the only one we can find.
It was the only one we can find. There's no discoverability yet.
Right.
That's coming.
Right.
And at the time, I didn't know this guy right here who blew me away on Snapchat when I found him. Did you add me or did I add you?
I don't know.
Remember.
I just remember I found you on Instagram, and it was like.
We sound like a couple.
I know. That's what I was gonna say.
Or did I add you?
It was like finding a date. It was like finding a girl on a dating app. You know, it was like, oh my gosh, I finally found somebody. So I remember when I found you on Instagram and I saw 2 or 3 of the stuff that you were posting. I was like, man, this guy gets it. And then somehow I just was looking and I was like, he's in Alabama.
Yeah.
And then I realized
the same reaction.
Yeah, and then I realized you were in Mobile, and I was like, man, and then that kind of grew to the Snapchat, and then us talking on the phone. So
the Wall Street Journal, we talked for about an hour and 45 minutes. You just want to know what, why, and how. And basically the nuts and bolts were is I can document my day.
Right.
And this sort of I didn't tell you this part, but how I really got into Snapchat is Alfa actually was the first insurance company in the United States of America to have a corporate Snapchat.
Gotcha.
I'm on a digital committee, and we actually encouraged them to do that.
Right.
And I did a corporate takeover, so I took over the Alfa Snapchat for a day, which was cool because they already had a bunch of followers when we did it.
Right.
And I was posting the snap code before that, so I had a lot of my friends and clients on there. And basically what I did is I just documented my day, and that was in June of last year, and that was literally the first time I was on camera pitching insurance.
What was it like the first time?
I was scared to death. But I thought I did a pretty good job, and I actually had something happen that day. I had a client who was in the hospital and couldn't make their insurance payment.
Wow.
And I drove to the hospital and got the payment, which is nothing that I wouldn't do on a normal day.
Right.
But it just so happened I had a camera follow me around that day.
Sure.
And so that kind of helped. But I had so many clients hit me back and message me and say, man, I had no idea that you did this every day.
Right.
I thought that like insurance agents got to the office at 9, left at 3, and went to the golf course and drank 3 beers.
Right.
I didn't realize that it's from 6:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. and you're going at it hard. And at 8 p.m. I got off and I met a client for dinner. And that it was a normal day, and so that kind of hit me like, man, I need to do this more often. So that was really when it went all in. But I basically detailed that to the Wall Street Journal, and the article is not posted yet, I don't think. And we spoke about Snapchat had their IPO, so that kind of floods that's kind of the topic of discussion. But it was really, really, really cool to just I'm just an insurance agent in Saraland, Alabama, and the Wall Street Journal wants to hear what I have to say.
So I gotta ask this question because I don't know the answer to this. My question to you would be, moving forward as Snapchat continues to evolve and grow, what do you see as the future of people like us, or just business owners that are watching this right now that may be in something totally different, but it's still kind of an entrepreneurship type business? What do you see as the future of Snapchat and them being able to somehow monetize what they're putting on there?
Snapchat.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it depends on the type of business. You know, you and I, we can't take a picture of our product.
Right.
So it's got to be us and really, in a way, insurance is tailor-made for the personal brand and marketing because we don't have a product we can take a picture of.
Right.
You know, I told a buddy of mine I would love to own like a liquor store where I could take a picture of the product. And that's just a basic example.
Or sell Mercedes-Benz or BMW.
Sell Mercedes-Benz, you know, like, and I mean, I'm gonna tell you what I really think Snapchat is designed for, is perfect for, and there's literally nobody that I know of that's using it as real estate agents.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. You're about to, this is gold right here.
It's real estate agents. I mean, take a picture, take your snap code and put it on the for sale sign.
Right.
It's so easy. You can get stickers made. You don't have to get the signs redone. Walk through the house and do a virtual open house.
Amanda Howard, are you watching this? Gold right here.
You know, I got a good buddy of mine, and I'm gonna shout him out, put him on the spot. Gerardo Rodriguez is tailor-made for Snapchat. You got to get on Snapchat if you're a real estate agent. But just, I think it depends on the business. You know, if you have a physical product, something that people would like to look at, like a house or you know, that sort of thing, take a picture of your product and post it on there. What's coming? I'm gonna tell you what's coming, and I'm gonna say it on record this time. And if this doesn't happen, I'm gonna be real disappointed. It's Snapchat Live.
Yeah,
it's coming.
Yeah.
It's close.
Kind of like Facebook Live.
Yeah, it's close. That's got to be their next step. And then I think what you're going to get with that is you're going to get some discoverability within the app and that sort of thing.
Well, when I go to the Snapchat where you can do the timer up or down, I noticed the other day that
more time.
Well, it said limitless or something, or unlimited.
Okay.
So I don't know if they've now maybe put something. You know, it used to stop at 10 seconds. I've not tried that feature because I just found it like 2 days ago. But apparently, if you hit unlimited, you just sit there and you can talk and talk and talk and talk.
And here's the thing too with Snapchat, and this goes back to like day one Snapchat marketing.
Right.
But I'm gonna go back to this is okay. If you have a business Facebook post that reaches 100 people.
Yeah. Somebody's real estate agent.
If you have a business Facebook post that reaches 100 people, and you have a Snapchat post that 100 people view, that Snapchat post that 100 people view is way more powerful for two reasons. One, on that Facebook, they could have just been scrolling by. But with Snapchat, because number one, it disappears, and number two, it's only 10 seconds. They watch it. They're paying attention. And that's faded a little bit because people kind of click through them, but it's you're talking about real impressions. And that was kind of the first thing that got my attention. Like, man, I could build my following up here and say, hey, who wants some insurance today? Not that I would ever do that, but it's a real impression.
And how many people, when you post a story on Snapchat, how many people are usually watching that story?
Between 150 and 200 probably.
Wow. See, I can say whatever I want on Snapchat, as you know, and I cut it loose on Snapchat.
Sometimes I'm like,
because I've only got 25 people following me. And all of them are just personal friends of mine. So until I build a following of 150 to 300, 400, 500, 1,000, whatever, I can pretty much say what I want. But I know when that happens, it's not going to be quite as Scott Howell cutting it loose friendly.
Hey, no, you shouldn't change anything, man.
Well, but still, you know, like you said, sometimes it's like, ooh, I don't know if I said that.
I mean, with me, the guy you see on the camera is the same guy behind the camera. I mean, it's not only because I'm filming it myself, but because I'm the same on camera and off camera.
Exactly.
But you know, I had lunch with a real estate agent the other day, and he was asking me, you know, about Snapchat and that sort of thing, and what to do, and I'm like, man, just be yourself. You know, don't just, you know, I mean, act like you're talking to a buddy. And here's another thing people don't think about, okay? And I may be going too deep here.
No, please, keep going.
Have you ever had a conversation with somebody on Snapchat?
I have,
like, talk back and forth. That's the closest thing to a real conversation.
You're right.
When you and I talk in person, if we don't have all these cameras going, it disappears. It's the closest thing to a human interaction.
That's right.
You know? And the real estate agent also asked me, said, well, how do I build my following up? There's no discoverability.
And that's where I need help with.
And this is the easiest way. Take a screenshot of your snap code, post it on Instagram with the hashtag snap code, and you'll get 5 followers every time you do that.
Wow.
Now, you might not want some of them following you, but that's the easiest way to do it. And what you can do is add some tags like entrepreneurship, real estate, whatever business you're in.
I wish I could sell Teslas and just Snapchat. You know what I mean?
That'd be the easiest job in the world.
Selling Teslas or iPhones?
I firmly believe that I have the hardest product in the world to market.
Well, because you can't touch it, smell it,
and nobody wants
taste
to buy it.
Yeah, right.
You know, I mean,
Right.
nobody wants to buy insurance.
So before we move off Snapchat, tell everybody what your snap code is. He's got
My
great
snap code. One of my biggest regrets in life is I created a personal Snapchat, not a business Snapchat.
Gotcha.
And by the time I built my followers up, it was too late. And so my Snapchat handle is FLW Bradley, Bradley.
Gotcha.
So F is in Frank, L is in Larry, W Bradley.
Gotcha.
That's my snap code.
Mine is the insurance guy online. And if anybody wants to follow me on Snapchat, I cut it pretty loose on Snapchat, so you'll have to excuse the language and some of the things I say. But
I'm a choir boy compared to your Snapchat.
Yeah,
these people over here on this camera are like, wow.
Yeah. No, I cut it loose on Snapchat. So moving off of Snapchat, and again, I want to tell everybody I am in Saraland, Alabama. Alfa Insurance. If you need insurance and you're in the Mobile area and you want my recommendation of somebody who's going to take care of you, come see this guy right here. You can't miss him. He's on the main drag here on the highway.
And not only will we take care of you, but we accept Snapchat.
Right.
And you'll find me.
Absolutely.
You'll find me.
So if you could pick one thing, if you're an entrepreneur, business owner, small business owner, real estate agent, whatever, and you could pick one thing to brand and market on of all these social media places, would it be Snapchat or would it be something else?
That's like asking me what my favorite kid is.
Yes, I know.
Here's the thing, and I've argued with people on Facebook about this over and over and over, because I'm the founder of a group, the Mobile, Alabama Young Entrepreneurs. I don't know if you know that.
No,
we have a
Facebook
Facebook group. We have, I think, 1,800 members.
Cool.
And somebody always posts in there, I'm starting my business. What platform do I need to be on it? And every time somebody posts on there, well, you need to start with one platform and perfect that.
Right.
And it's so easy to distribute it everywhere.
Right.
You know, what happens if you just post? I mean, guys who were big on MySpace that didn't go on Facebook.
Right.
Imagine if you had 1 million followers on MySpace.
Right.
You know, or Twitter.
Right. And when you post to things like Instagram, you can actually just blast out, and that's something I haven't even been doing. Basic. Have all your platforms interconnected. Post on one, and distribute it out. Now that being said, if I had to pick one right now, I know we're talking about Snapchat and all that, I'd probably pick Instagram. Okay. Your favorite?
It's hard to say that, but yeah. I mean, and Snapchat's a close second.
Right.
But Instagram probably generates me more business than anything else, and I'm an insurance agent. Instagram is for pretty things.
Right.
You know, I mean, that's probably.
What kind of stuff do you post? I know, but tell them.
More Instagram, more personal branding stuff that's easy on the eye. You know, I'll take a photo. You know, one thing that I do that a lot of insurance agents don't do is I'll take. You know, every insurance agent has seen the GoFundMe is not life insurance.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You know, and whenever a new agent comes into the business, it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Well, what I did is I took that post and I took that verbiage and put it on a picture of me.
Right.
You know, so I put myself.
Right.
You know, and I've you know, a lot of people are like, oh, I would never do that, but that was one of the best decisions I've ever made business-wise is doing that. So just, you know, personal branding stuff that gets people's attention. Pulls the heartstrings. You have to make them laugh, you have to educate them, or you have to scare them.
Right.
One of those three.
Right.
And I tend to stick to the first two.
So do you do a lot of Facebook Live or YouTube?
I was doing a little bit more last year, towards the end of the year. It's kind of been I've had a great first quarter of 2017, and I've gotten away from it a little bit as far as Facebook Live goes. I still post a video every now and then. What I did is I would edit my videos. When I discovered iMovie, that was like iMovie on the iPhone. Yeah. That was like the best thing that I ever discovered. A buddy of mine, Ren Bartlett, showed it to me. Follow him.
Shout out,
Ren Bartlett. Anyway, so I've got probably 30 to 50 insurance videos that I've got saved up. So I'll post one I've got enough built up that I don't have to film them every day.
Right.
And people aren't seeing the same stuff over and over.
Gotcha.
I do a Facebook Live probably once or twice a month. You know, and I'm very selective. You know, I mean, I could sit here and do Facebook Lives every day about buying insurance, but I don't want to do that. I want to provide value, like we talked about.
Right.
I don't want to be the guy that every time you look at his stuff, he's trying to sell you something.
Right.
You know, I did one last week, was the first one I'd done in a couple weeks, and it was why your car insurance went up. As you know, pretty much every car insurance company in the state of Alabama had a rate increase.
That's right.
So I was detailing why that was.
Right.
So educational stuff that's going to help you. And I actually had a guy from Las Vegas watching on there, and he's like, I'm in Vegas and my rate went up too. Do you think that's what it is? I said, probably so. You know, you probably need to stay out of casinos, but
right. Well, I will say this. I think something that I've tried to do and I need more help with is I've partnered with a local media company in Huntsville, and the one suggestion I would have for you and I both, and any, you know, entrepreneur, business person that's going to utilize social media out there, is figuring out a way to partner with somebody that's in the tech world that can help you with some of this stuff to really elevate your game to the next level. It's almost like having a shooting coach if you're a basketball player or something.
And you don't have to you don't have to hire them, just befriend them.
Exactly.
And you will pick up stuff along the way.
Right.
You know, you'll pick up like, oh, this is how you do this, and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I kind of pride myself on knowing what the next thing is in social media, and like you may not know this, but Google, you can IM somebody from their Google page now.
Right.
That debuted last week, so you can Google Saraland Insurance, go to my Google page, and where it's usually got the phone to call somebody, that's moved over, and there's a little button, and you can IM the business, and guess where it goes? It goes to my cell phone.
Have a dead go.
And so I kind of pride myself on being the first one on that, on that kind of stuff, but at the same time, I needed help more on the tech. This part of it, and as far as what to do, and stuff as simple as putting the phone sideways so you have a wide angle, that sort of thing.
Exactly. So yeah, and for me, it's been more editing videos so that they don't look like I did them. They look like somebody else helped me do them.
I get super frustrated editing videos.
It's some of the stuff like you and I have talked about with designing an app for consumers on insurance. I mean, that is way out of my league. Chat bots, things like that for our digital insurance center that we're coming up with. So
iPROTECT.
iPROTECT INS.
But just plug somebody else back.
That's okay. Don't worry about it. That's fine. I just, you know, I think digital is incredible. I think that as business people, I don't care if you're in insurance. You can be in real estate. You can be in anything, electrician, HVAC company, whatever it is. I think the more you utilize this stuff and get used to it, I think the better off you'll be.
If you don't have an online presence, in a few years, you're not going to exist.
I know.
You'll exist, but as far as the public's concerned, you're not going to exist.
So that brings me to my next question. That was a beautiful segue. The future of insurance. What do you see it as? I kind of have a feeling what companies feel like it's going to be, but what do you think it's going to be 20 years from now?
Personally, I think it's going to be, you know, we can go online and say it's going to be the online thing. What happens is people go to these online insurance companies where there's no agents, nothing like that, and they always come back. I get more return customers from these companies, from those online companies, anywhere else, because they want a local agent. They want somebody, or not even a local agent, just an agent. They want somebody that, you know, I had somebody a couple weeks ago that messaged me in the middle of the night, their house burned down. You know, I couldn't do anything in the middle of the night, but just the fact they could message me made them sit easier. I think what you're going to get is a hybrid form of that. I think you're going to have, you know, guys like me and you who try to do business online, but we're a physical person in the office. I think you're going to have a hybrid of the two. The insurance industry, you know, like we talked about earlier with Tesla and these automatic cars, you know, obviously it's going to change it. But I think some sort of hybrid form of your online companies with an agent. You know, a guy like me in an office, but you can buy your insurance online. Basically, because people want they want quick. They don't necessarily don't want an agent. All you guys out there that think you don't want an agent, it's not that you don't want an agent. You want quick. You want speedy. You want accessibility. So no matter, I tell my staff here, you know, the faster you are, there's always somebody's faster.
That's
so
right.
We got to be fast.
And I always talk about speed. Speed is power, and
speed kills is what I say.
Yeah, and part of that is having a team, and I'm fortunate, lucky enough to have a team with me that has been with me, most of them for a long time. And with that lack of turnover and that stability, you get speed because you're all used to working together, and so you can do this on pretty quick rate. But Gary Vee says something that I absolutely love. He says, the more we become the Jetsons, the more we as business owners need to be the Flintstones. And what he means by that is having that speed that we're talking about right now, but also having that customer service.
Right.
You know, we're here for you. We can, you know, you can get us on our cell phone if you need to, and that kind of thing.
I heard a great quote the other day. It sort of relates to that. Andrew Vickers, treat every customer like they're going to review you on Google when they leave.
Damn, that's good. I like that.
Treat every customer like they're going to review you on Google when they leave. And if you have a business and you've ever had an unjustified Google review, bad Google review, it's like, it'll ruin your month.
Yeah.
Like, it's bad. It's bad.
Well, the funny thing about it is when you do a great job for people, it seems to go unnoticed. But if you're having that bad day and somebody, you know, doesn't
what cracks me up is the guy that's like, I had a great experience. It was awesome. 4 stars.
Right. Yeah.
You know, in reviews, it's either 5 stars or none.
Right.
Or 5 stars or 1.
That's right.
But yeah, and see, I think what's happening too, you asked me insurance industry, this is marketing in general. You know, 40 years ago, how did you find your insurance agent?
Phone book.
Well, but you went to your brother or your uncle, your dad. Hey, where's your insurance? Who's your insurance agent? Exactly. Everything was word of mouth. But what happened is going into the 80s and 90s, when advertising started getting, you know, these billboards and TV ads and that sort of thing, it got away from that. It turned into spam, right hook, and then finally people realized, hey, we're being spammed.
Right.
You know? And so what's happened is now with social media, what's happening? You know, if I go on Facebook, didn't you say it yesterday, Facebook's turning into Angie's List?
Absolutely. Every time I look on Facebook, somebody's asking for an electrician or a plumber.
Right, and so it's going back into word of mouth. It's just online.
Right.
So
that's exactly what's happening.
Have you ever thought about that?
I have not like that, but that's certainly what Facebook seems to be turning into. It's like a online, well, it's Angie's, you know, it's kind of like Angie's List. It's, you know, get on there, I need a carpet company.
Yeah.
Does anybody know a good carpet company?
And I have, you know, and
nothing wrong with that, but that's just kind of what it's morphing into.
And I get on Facebook probably 5 to 6 times a day during the day, not posting business stuff, just get on. And literally at least once a week, somebody's on there asking for insurance.
Right.
Or whatever. Or I see somebody asking for, my dad's an electrician. I see somebody ask for an electrician, you know.
Right.
And so it's, hey, you know, I can, and when I do that, it's important. It's the least,
plug that in.
It's the least spammy way possible when I do that. It's what I do is I post the, you know, the emoji of the guy doing this. When somebody asks for insurance, I post the emoji of this.
Hey,
and they almost always message me because it's like it's funny, it's an emoji, but at the same time it's saying, hey, you know, I can, you know, so that's,
well, and for me, when going back to the insurance question, people they remind me a little bit of teenagers. Teenagers want the freedom to do the things they want to do. They want to go out. They want to spend time with their friends. They don't want mom and dad to tell them what to do until something happens, and then it's, you know, mom and daddy, I need you. I got something. And so what I feel like's happening right now is people do want to buy the way they want to buy. They want to service their policies the way they want to service their policies until that major accident or the house burns down, and then they want a local agent and somebody that they can call on their cell phone and say, help me right now. Not tomorrow, not next week, right now. And so that's where I think the value of that local agent still permeates.
Right, and a lot of, and we're speaking in terms of insurance. That's my mind is wired to think that way. So every example I'm gonna give is insurance, but pretty much anything can go across.
Real estate, mortgage broker.
Right.
Doesn't matter.
So last week, I'm in a group on Facebook with some other insurance agents. And this agent was complaining about a young kid she was dealing with. It was 21 years old, or maybe it was a he, I'm not sure. I can't remember who posted it. And the kid wanted something like right now. I don't know if it was ID cards or what. And basically she said, I'm not Amazon.
Right.
And it ticked me off. I'm like, you know what? You need to be.
Right.
Because guess what? If you don't think Amazon is going to be selling houses and insurance in a few years,
absolutely,
you're stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
right. It's coming.
That's who you're competing with.
Right.
You know, you're competing with the Amazons and the Alibabas of the world and stuff, and eBay and that sort of thing. eBay even has an insurance product.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I mean, it's coming. So that's who you're competing against. So
as
we've been off subject.
No, that's right on target right there. So let's talk a little bit before we close this out. And I know you need to get back to work, and you've got a lot of people that you need to talk to, and I know you've put your phone on mute to talk to me for a little while. Let's talk a little bit about insurance in terms of, we talked a little bit about auto insurance increases nationwide, distracted driving. Somebody's probably watching this right now while they drive down the road.
Everybody's probably, that's why billboards don't work.
Increased cost of repairs, increased cost of medical, medical bills when somebody does get hurt in an accident. You've got a lot of, not to mention, cars like Teslas and these new vehicles that are coming out are just incredibly expensive. And I mentioned that, increased cost of repairs. But what are we looking at in terms of, I guess the auto increases are going to continue in insurance nationwide probably, because I have a feeling this is not Alabama.
No, until everybody starts doing it the right way.
Yeah. Or we all get an automated car which is probably 20 or 30 years away. It's so funny about technology. Yeah. Everybody thinks it's going to happen next year, and we probably all won't all be driving an automated car for 15, 20 years. I know I can't afford a $100,000 Tesla to drive around with not having to steer it, Well,
so you're talking about the elite of the 1% of the 1% that can afford to make a financial investment on the front end in hopes for savings on the back end.
Right. Or just want the prestige and the ability to not have to drive their car so they can.
Man, I could get so much done.
Oh my gosh, it'll be great.
But that would be kind of a catch-22 though, with the insurance guy driving an automatic car.
So Tesla's coming out in, I know some people who put deposits on it.
I do as well.
The new Tesla that's supposed to be baseline, remember that word, baseline price of $35,000. Now I think in order to get the good stuff, you're probably going to be looking at somewhere between $50,000 and $75,000.
Yeah.
But that's coming in, I think spring of 2018. Those cars will start shipping. I know 2 people in my office have family members that have put down a $1,000 deposit on those. So apparently those are red hot right now.
I want one.
And Mercedes-Benz and BMW are talking about coming out with their
Volvo too.
And Volvo, completely driverless car. I know Mercedes because I talked to some engineers.
Our crew guy fell asleep.
Dude, you got to do better. We're gonna have to hire somebody else. So anyway, I just want to tell you how much I appreciate you spending time with me today. Guys, if
I'm humbled that you feel I'm worthy of this.
Listen, if you're in a business, if you have a business, go follow this guy on Instagram. What is it on Instagram?
Saraland Insurance.
Saraland Insurance on Instagram. See some of the stuff he's doing.
If you just search hashtag make insurance great again, I'm the only guy using that for now.
Yeah, for now. And let me say this too. So guys that let's talk about this before we go off air. Guys we follow and girls we follow on YouTube, Instagram. I think you and I both follow. I'm gonna back up right here.
Gary V.
Anybody knows who that is? That's a little Grant Cardone 10X. If you haven't read the book 10X by Grant Cardone, it's gold.
It will change your business.
Yeah, it will change your business.
That's what kickstarted me.
Yeah.
And you don't know this story. I was having a good year in 2014. I was on track to hit all my goals and do better than that. And I read the 10X rule in September. In the month of October, my production was more than the 9 months combined.
And every single person I know that has read that book has that same story.
It's no fluff. It's do this. It gives you something to do.
And every person that reads that book, their business either doubles, triples, or quadruples immediately after reading that book. Guy that I spend a lot of time listening to because he's a thought leader is Gary Vaynerchuk. But Grant Cardone, Gary is a social media guy. He can you know, he says he doesn't really look into the future, but he seems to have a pretty good handle on what's coming.
Yeah. By looking at the past.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he reads the past tea leaves to look forward. Yeah, he talks a lot
either one of
about
those
that.
guys, Gary Vee, Grant Cardone, they're not going to lead you in the wrong direction.
You know, I don't agree with everything they say,
absolutely not.
but
Yeah.
I'm going to say this: they really do motivate me. When I need motivation to keep going or whatever's going on, I really look to them. I think more for that just daily motivation. I've noticed I've spent a lot more time listening to Gary Vaynerchuk the past 6 months
Me as well.
than I have Grant, but I think that's just because I spent most of last year listening to Grant.
Right.
Who anybody else that you listen to?
Casey Neistat is
I love Casey.
good in a very counterculture kind of way.
Right, yeah.
I'm trying to think. Another one that's really good is
I'll tell you one on YouTube I like to watch just for the technology stuff. Like this, I mean, that's a Galaxy 8. That's a G7X camera. Think TV, and I can't remember the guy's name, but he does a really good job on Think
I tell you
TV.
who does a good job too, and a lot of people don't like him. He has a lot of haters. Is Ty Lopez.
Never seen him.
Ty Lopez he's kind of corny, very cheesy, but he gives some good advice, and he's one of these. He's kind of a Casey Neistat, whereas he documents every bit of his day.
I'm gonna tell you what I tell people all the time. I'm horrible at 98% of things I do, right? But if I ever need to do something, if I go to YouTube and watch a YouTube on how to do whatever it is, I'll be dadgum if I usually can't do it. YouTube is kind of turned into remember the yellow book about so-and-so for dummies? That's kind of my so-and-so for dummies.
Right.
By the way, check the box for the 98% of things Scott is awful at. Check the box for surfing. I cannot surf, and I lost a pair of sunglasses yesterday trying to do that.
Same ones I have?
Yes, exactly. So we can mark that off the list of things I'm going to do.
The big thing I tell folks too with me is I will show you my hand.
Right.
If my biggest competitor were to come in here,
right,
I'm gonna tell them exactly how I'm doing and what I'm doing social media wise. Less a couple things.
Right.
For two reasons. One, that forces me to improve.
Right.
And two, most of them aren't gonna do it.
Right.
This takes action. It takes to do it the right way. Now you can go and buy $10,000 worth of Facebook and Instagram ads and get some business from it.
Right.
But to do it the right way, the organic way, without paying, not there's anything wrong with that. You have to go do. You have to take action, just like you doing this podcast. I think this is awesome. I've been mulling something like this over in my head for the past 6 months.
You know what I'm gonna call him out right now. Okay. Right. We'll see if this happens or not. Because again, and my tagline on my email is rewards come from action, not discussion. We need to do a weekly SoundCloud podcast.
I agree.
And just do it together. Do it on insurance sales. Do you know how many insurance agents there are in the United States of America? Who gives a damn whether they all watch it or not? There's probably, how many insurance agents and associate agents do you think there are just in Alabama? Google it. I don't know. I'm guessing 2,000 or 3,000.
GTS.
Yeah. I'm guessing 2,000 or 3,000 just in the state of Alabama. I'm not talking about everywhere, but we need an insurance podcast, insurance sales motivation podcast.
Yeah, and you know, Insurance Splash has a real good one, and they did like 4 episodes, and then they've never done another one.
There you go. When we sat down today, I told him, I said, you know why I'm here today? Because I've had some people.
And I had no idea. As far as I knew, we were coming just to hang out.
Yeah, just talk. But I said, I've had people that I've seen on my Facebook page that I know look like they were in a hostage situation, actually trying to get on Facebook Live. And they were doing a fantastic job, but just the bravery that they had of getting on there when I could see it. Every fiber of their being is telling them not to be on there, and to push through that bravery really motivates me.
You're putting yourself out there.
Yeah, man.
And people like that.
And I tell people all the time, I'm like, don't worry about your hair, don't worry about your makeup, don't worry about, somebody might say something mean to me, or they might say I'm fat or skinny, or Brian Hancock, my legs are skinny. So Hancock's probably about to post about how skinny my legs are here.
So you skip leg day?
Every day, yeah.
So
Every day.
So I was on Periscope. If you know what Periscope is.
I wanted to Periscope today. I ran out of cameras.
Well, I had my other phone over there, but you know.
Sorry.
My other nickname is Two Phones. You know, two chains. I have two phones because when you're the most successful insurance agent in the business,
that's
you
right.
Have two numbers.
Absolutely.
So.
Is that personal and business or just business and business?
It's personal and business. There's very select few clients that have the personal number.
I got you. I got you.
I was on Periscope within a week of it launching.
Wow.
And I went live. And I dictated this. I wrote about this in an article I wrote for lifehealthpro.com, which is now thinkadvisor.com. They got bought out. I went live. I was driving across the causeway.
Yeah.
You just probably came across the causeway.
I did.
Beautiful. And I was too scared to flip the camera around on myself. And I'm just live. I was not driving. I stopped.
Right.
And insurance, you know.
Right.
And this guy comments and says loser, and I shut it off.
Ruined your whole week.
And I didn't go live for probably another 2 years.
Wow.
And that was a Facebook Live.
That I'm so glad you're saying that.
And I regret that so much because I could have been the only insurance agent on Periscope.
Yep.
Like, do you realize like I could, I'm not likely I could have 1 million followers. Like, I mean, you never know.
And you tell you the horrible part of that story is that guy probably never thought of that again.
Right.
Like,
he doesn't bother me, but it's like
he probably did it as a joke, just like loser.
Yeah.
And they never thought of it again, and it cost you 2 years.
But like the content could have been so bad back then. It was so primitive that I would have had a following.
Right.
You know.
Absolutely.
So I'm sitting here waiting. And when the next platform, I'm gonna pounce on it. There'll be 3 people watching me at first, but it doesn't matter.
You know what? But Gary Vaynerchuk says, he says, if you want to see the next social media platform that's going to blow up, you've heard him say this 100 times, I'm sure. Go anywhere where there's a bunch of 13 and 14-year-old girls. And ask them, hey, what are you using on social media? And 9 times out of 10, because they're going to be the first ones that are at the tip of the spear,
right? Because
they're using all these apps, and he says, I'll walk in the airport and I'll see like some girl using some app I've never seen before.
That's how he discovered Snapchat. He saw a little yellow app on people's phone and asked a 13-year-old what it was.
Wow.
And he actually got in a sticky situation where a dad thought he was a creeper.
Right. Because he was asking. Yeah. Well, and I had kind of the same thing happen to me, asking somebody about social media, and she was like, why are you asking me about my social media platforms? You know, and kind of a similar situation. But
and my sister said the same thing. She's like, why do you care? Like she's 20, 21. She's like, why do you even care? I'm like, you don't understand. Like,
oh, if you're at the tip of the spear and you hit something at the beginning, you're the first one to use it.
Right.
You have an opportunity there to reach literally thousands and thousands of people in your demographic in your area.
But not only that, like going back to the insurance agent who said the thing about Amazon.
Right.
It was a 21-year-old kid and they didn't understand insurance. Guess what? A 21-year-old kid's going to be 30 one day.
Right.
And is going to need life insurance and health insurance, and and that's what. So when I was talking to the Wall Street Journal, the client said, so are your clients on Snapchat? Are there people that are going to buy insurance from you on Snapchat?
Right.
And this is what I said, and this is a true story. The day before we did our actual interview, which was a month or so after she called me, the day before I made my first start to finish sale from Snapchat.
Right.
And this is exactly how I told her. So it was a kid that added me on Snapchat. He asked me about life insurance. I quoted it for him. I followed up with him. Set the appointment. Never met him, never talked to him on the phone, nothing but Snapchat.
Wow.
Met him at his house. He bought a life insurance policy on his dad. He paid it by the year, which you know is a big thing. He paid it by the year. He bought a life insurance policy on his dad. So no, my clients might not be on Snapchat, but the kids are.
Exactly. And right before we came on, what happened? Right before we came on,
literally, we're setting the phone up live, and somebody that I've been doing business with for a while, that I'm friends with on Facebook, dinged me and said, hey, do you do life insurance? Or you do life insurance too? I need a policy.
Right. But 10 years ago, before any of this was out there, I used to tell people all the time, there's one thing I can promise you. If somebody doesn't know who you are, especially in our business, they're not going to do business with you.
Right.
Because I can't tell you, the thing that hurts me the most is when I run into somebody I know at a Little League game or at Publix.
They don't know what you do.
And, or this is even worse. They go, Oh man, Scott,
I
just changed insurance companies and I completely forgot you do insurance.
And that
is like freaking nails on a chalkboard to me.
When that happens to me, that tells me I'm not doing a good enough job.
Absolutely.
And that's what we talk about losing. When I said losing, that's kind of things I think of, like, oh, that just makes me want to push that much harder.
Absolutely.
And it's very cool. It's very cool when you meet somebody at a networking event and they know who you are, but you don't know who they are.
Guess what?
It's very cool.
I knew him.
I mean that in a non-ego way. This is the first time we've met in person, but I feel like I know him.
Yeah. So this happened Saturday night at Publix in Orange Beach, Alabama at 10 p.m. This is a true story. I'm standing in the produce section, and I had this hat, which we both have one of these. Let's put these bad boys on. Yeah, there we go. So I'm standing there in the produce section. I have my hat turned around backwards like a dum-dum, and I'm standing there looking at something, and all of a sudden I hear, Scott Howell. And it was a buddy of mine from Birmingham, Alabama. Did not even see my face.
He saw the hat.
He saw the back. He saw this hat, and he said, I knew it was you when I walked around the corner and saw the back of your hat. I'd seen it on Facebook Live.
I had mine first, by the way.
Yeah, he did, and you got the real one. He's got the real deal. I just couldn't do the red. I wanted to do
might get mugged.
Yeah, yeah. Can you know how many people have asked me for one of these hats now?
I've had a lot. I had 2 competitors. Like, I'm talking about local competitors say, hey, I want one of those hats. I'm like, you understand it's going to have my website on the back of it, right? Like,
yeah. This was a trial run. I wanted to see how many people wanted one and had interest in it, and I think there's plenty of interest in it.
So I've got, this is a product announcement. I've got some air fresheners. It's not an end-all be-all, it's not a silver bullet, but it's some air fresheners. And if you guys want an air freshener, I'm not seeing air freshener. Now, it's got my face on it, like everything else I do, but it says the freshest coverage around. I love it. I got my wrist slap for using that, and not really, but I said, well, the second choice was the flies coverage around, but we're going to save that for something else. So yeah.
If you need air freshener and you need air insurance or life insurance, come see this guy. And somebody's calling you right now. And so here's my challenge to him. Let's figure out a way to get on SoundCloud and start doing an insurance
Let's just do it, man.
podcast.
Let's do it. You got me.
Rewards come from action, not discussion. Remember that. And I just want to say again, man, thank you.
I really appreciate it. It's awesome.
Man, I enjoyed it.
Awesome.
And my name is Scott Howell, Agency Owner and Evangelist of iPROTECT Insurance and Financial Services. Today, I don't even know what day it is. Tuesday, May, or is it May what?
It's May the 30th.
May the 30th, 2017. You are watching Ask the Insurance Guy online. First episode of 2017. Thank you so much for joining us. I love this man. Follow him on Instagram, follow him on Facebook, follow him on Snapchat, and give him a call for insurance. And remember, Nationwide is on your side.
But I'm not the kind of person that it fits. She said, where'd you wanna go? How much you wanna risk? I'm not looking for somebody with some superhuman gifts, some superhero, some fairy tale bliss, just something I can turn to, somebody